Okay, thanks. Hi, everyone. This is Imran Amed, founder and CEO of the Business of Fashion. Welcome to the latest episode of BOF Live here on Instagram. We have been doing all sorts of conversations with some of our favorite people all around the world. And today I'm delighted to be speaking with my dear friend, Dr. Nigma Talib, who's a naturopathic doctor and all-round guru on how we can take care of ourselves. And at such a complicated and difficult time, I thought it would be nice to spend a bit of time with Nigma to get her take on how we can take care of ourselves. So I'm just going to invite her. Hello.
Hi, Imran. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I got tied up with some other stuff.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Are you? Is your phone all positioned okay? Are you good?
I'm positioned perfectly.
Okay,
Getting used to this now.
I'm gonna position my phone too because yeah, that's better. So what's going on? You're in Los Angeles.
I'm in Los Angeles, and
Yeah,
we're in the same situation as you guys over there in London. And our weather is not as nice as the weather you're having over there, so I'm a bit jealous.
okay. Why? What's the weather like over there?
It's really interesting. It's been raining, and then we had a bit of sunny, point of sunny periods yesterday and the day before, but now it's cloudy and, gray again. So let's
Okay,
see.
well, for once, London is sunny.
I know. Well, I'm very pleased for you.
Sadly, we can't go outside and enjoy it, but I'm enjoying it from my window every day. So Nigma, this is a very important conversation because previously you've spoken at our Voices event in Oxfordshire, and you've attended more than once, and spent time with us, our community, talking about wellness. And this is a time when a lot of people are going through stress and anxiety. People aren't eating well. They're eating too much or not eating enough, in my case. They're not sleeping well.
Right.
There's all sorts of things that people are feeling right now. And I wanted to spend some time with you to just get your tips on, what we can do. It's, we're all about to go into the weekend. So it's a moment where we can maybe reflect on some of your advice and thoughts on how we can take better care of ourselves. Does that sound okay?
100%. I'm excited. I've been doing this with patients as well because I'm doing a lot of virtual patient
Okay, so why don't
consultations.
you do this? Why don't you pretend I'm a patient? And okay, so help me out, please.
So what I would start off with are like the 7 different things that happen in our lives. So one is, as you said, sleep. The other is exercise. There's also community. There's, routine. Like, what is your routine looking like? What is your mental health looking like? What are you concerned about? What are some of your fears? And what are you eating? And also, I ask the question every time, what do your poops look like? So, and if you're ready to talk
I'm
about that.
not talking about my poops on Instagram Live.
So I always ask my patients, what do your bowel movements look like? So that gives
Why do
me a
you
lot of
start with bowel movements? Like, not to be too funny about poop, but
so
yeah.
yeah, so I will always educate my patients, and the first thing you need to think about is your digestion, your gut. I want to start with this, Imran, because this is super important. Your gut, your digestion, your intestines, if I were to take out my intestines right now and lay them out, they would be the size of a tennis court. That's the surface area of my intestines. So there's a lot that's
Wow.
happening in my intestines. You have about 100 trillion bacteria in there. Okay, so those bacteria are good, they're bad, some of them are ugly, and we want to make sure that we optimize our gut bacteria. And so those are the good bacteria. And eating right, sleeping, stress, all of these things can impact your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome also, Imran, produces neurotransmitters called serotonin. We've heard of serotonin.
That's the happy thing, right?
Yes, yes. That's why you're always happy, Imran. It's a feel-good hormone. And when you have adequate amount of serotonin, your anxiety levels are less. So that's why when people eat rubbish food, they feel rubbish because their serotonin is impacted. So again, thinking about the gut. Now, what you're feeding your gut is super important because it is going to impact how your serotonin production goes, and it's also going to impact whether you have bloating, gas. So now, if you tell me what your bowel movements look like, if they're loose, okay, you don't have to tell me now. We'll talk later. If they're loose, if they're not, this is going to be the new fashion. I promise you. Is talking about bowel movements. I promise. So if they're loose, I mean, everybody poos. Come on. So if your poo is not in one piece, if it's floating, it's not good. That means you've got too much fat malabsorption. If it's sinking, great, and it's a nice all-in-one piece.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about what a good poop looks like first?
Okay,
and then, like, we don't need to talk about all the other gross ones, but, like, just if people know they don't have... I mean, yeah.
So if you have, for bowel movements, if you have nice one, it's in one piece, could be like S-shaped, and it sinks to the bottom. There should be no blood or no mucus. And it should just come out like, bloop, literally. Okay. And
with that sound.
Bloop. Yes, exactly. And it should be a very easy thing. You shouldn't be, and the thing is men take their time in the bathroom. Like they sit there, they read a magazine. Women are rushing, going to the toilet, running out. Take your time in the toilet. And elevate your feet if you have to get a stool to elevate your feet if you're having issues with the toilet. Now's the time you can take the time in the toilet. You're home. So a lot of people have troubles if they're at work. They don't feel comfortable going number 2 at work. Now we're home all the time. So make a habit of going to the toilet because that routine habit in how you go to the toilet is going to really impact.
Are you supposed to go at the same time every day?
Yes and no. It just depends how much you've eaten, how much fiber you've had, how much water you've had. I mean, there's so many things that come into play, but usually people will quite often say, after I have my morning coffee, I go to the toilet, right? So everybody has their different, routine, but I do think it's a good thing that, you have a clock where you're eating at particular times, you're going to the toilet at a particular time. So all of those things are important. So that is what a normal bowel movement is supposed to look like. Okay, nice S-shaped, all in one piece, no mucus, no blood. And so people that are not having that, there could be something underlying that, So before, when we used to travel in planes, did you know the altitude of being in a plane causes expansion of gases? So if you already have a gas and bloating problem, that's just going to be accentuated from traveling. Now we don't have that. So now we can actually be in our own habitat and get used to our regular gases and our bowel movements and what foods are bothering us, because you're not eating plain food anymore. You're getting to eat home cooked food or delivery, whatever it is you're doing.
Okay. So we started with the gut.
Yes.
What are your top tips now for taking care of ourselves in quarantine?
So I would say the most important thing is routine. So when you get up in the morning, you're not immediately going to your phone, which is what I was doing, and I realized it was not a good thing. So get up in the morning, brush your teeth, use your cleanser, use your serum, use your cream, do your natural routine, get out of the bedroom, make your bed, open the windows, air out your room, go into the kitchen, change rooms. Don't stay in your room all day and work and be on your phone. Your bedroom should be for sleep and sex. That's it. Okay? Nothing else should be going on in the bedroom but that. So that's your sanctuary. And that really will help you sleep better. Then go into the kitchen. And what I do is I will have something warm first thing in the morning. It's like starting a car, right? I'm 47 years old. Pretend I was a 47-year-old Ferrari. If I just switched on my car and ran through the dirt with my car, the car would break down, right? So you want to warm up your car in the morning. You want to warm up your body. I will do like a nice warm water with lemon, some ginger, And I'll also have some bone broth just to warm up my intestines. You know, I find breakfast to be a very weird thing. Like
Do you make your own
cereal.
bone broth?
I don't. I don't.
So like
I have.
that bone broth you buy in stores, is that good to use? It's
Yeah,
fine.
of course it is. Yes, of course it is. You can make your own bone broth, and I have done actually since I've been in quarantine. I don't make it every day, but it's just easy. You just boil a whole chicken carcass and
Yeah.
put some vegetables in there, and I see you've been also doing a lot of cooking, so I mean, everybody's learning how to nourish themselves, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that making your own bone broth, if you have the time, absolutely. But you can just drink it as like you would a cup of tea. So do that, have your breakfast, and then have a workstation. You know, so if you have a smaller flat, separate your flat into different areas. Okay, this is my work area. And then when you're done work, wrap up, work is done, now I'm gonna have dinner. You know, so have little compartments in your home so that you're adjusting to this. I think most of us are starting to have just adjusted to this working from home and quarantine now. So, you know, have that routine in place. Now, so what we find out about sleep is that when you're not sleeping enough, we actually found that there was an increase in leukocytes, white blood cell counts for inflammation when people are sleep deprived. So your body does not do well when you're not sleeping enough. 8 hours minimum, Imran.
But
And
how
that's
do
why
you know, some people don't need 8 hours, right? So some people
six
feel
to
rest
eight.
6 to 8, right? So like it differs from person to person, right?
It does. It does. And it's also more the quality of sleep, Imran. So if your bedroom is super bright and you have electronics, that is going to disturb your sleep no matter what. You may not think it does. People that are really, they say deep sleepers, you will not wake up refreshed. You have to get rid of the electronics. That's the number one. Turn off all electronics. Your room should be pitch black when you're sleeping. There should be no light because the pineal gland secretes a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin is an antioxidant and is anti-aging. It is incredible for sleeping and immune function. And so your body naturally increases melatonin when it's dark. Now, Imran, guess what? 22% decline in melatonin levels when you are on your phone. So 2 hours before you go to bed, turn off all electronics if you can.
Okay.
If you're not a good sleeper in particular, it will help.
Some people take melatonin supplements. Is that something you recommend?
So, you know, there was interesting research on melatonin and immune function, and it was more endogenous melatonin. We're not sure if supplemental melatonin, it does work. I know you've taken it before. I take it when I travel a lot. It does lose its effect if you take it all the time. And so it's good to sort of take breaks from it and only take it when you really feel like you need it.
Okay. So
1 to 2 milligrams.
routine, and then sleep. What's number 3?
And if you can't get a hold of melatonin, you can get sweet cherry juice, and you can get that in a supplement as well.
What's sweet cherry juice?
Sweet cherry juice it's from the cherry family, and it does help increase melatonin levels naturally.
Okay.
And so for the UK
Does
listeners,
it taste okay?
Yeah, it's a bit bitter, but you can
Okay.
mix it in a bit of water.
Okay. So routine and then sleep. What's number 3?
So food. Okay, so food is so important. So you remember the tennis court that lives inside of us, right? The intestines.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want to feed that. That's the only separation between your internal and external environment is your intestines. So what you're feeding in there, what you're putting in your body is going to have immense hormonal changes. It can change your hormones. It can change where you absorb your nutrients, which you need. So food is super important. So eat the rainbow. Lots of green leafy vegetables. The green leafy vegetables are rich in lycopenes, which are antioxidants that help your skin. They help your hair. They help your immune system in general. So lycopenes are really important. So like blueberries are really rich in antioxidants, and they're really yummy. So you can take those and put them near your desk when you're snacking. Making sure that you're eating regularly, eating warm foods. So Imran, your pancreas produces 2 liters of enzymes every time you eat. So you have to think about
Like
it this way.
enzymes that digest my food.
Exactly, which then
Yeah.
increase the nutrients in your body. So do you ever feel tired after you've had a meal?
Sometimes in the afternoon after I've had lunch, I
Yeah.
go through a
So
bit of a dip. Yeah.
that's because your body is using all its energy to digest the food. So
Right.
what you want to do is take a toll off the pancreas and have warming foods, not cold, milky foods that are, and salads are really difficult to digest, like raw veg. So try to steam your vegetables to enable your body to eat. So
So
sorry, to
salad
digest.
isn't good. Everyone thinks salad is so
I
healthy.
know, I know it in the sun really good poops and bowel movements in general. Sorry, I think the internet connection goes in and out.
You just cut out there for a minute. Can you say that again?
Can you hear me okay? Sorry.
It's
So this
cutting out a
salad,
bit.
I think our, yeah, I think the internet connection must be a bit off. Sorry, but can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
now it's better. Now it's
Okay.
better. Yeah.
So salads and things like that are difficult to digest. So unless you have really good bowel movements and you are clockwork, then I recommend avoiding the salads if you don't have optimal digestion.
And boiled vegetables instead. Okay. Any other eating
Steamed,
tips?
steamed would be better. Steamed would be better than boiling because
Oh,
boiling
sorry.
depletes
Steamed
the nutrients.
vegetables, of course. Boiled, they taste like crap. Um,
And you
steamed
deplete the
vegetables.
nutrient content. And don't microwave because microwaving also depletes it. So try to get like one of those silver things that you can put your vegetables in and then just steam them.
Like in an instant pot.
You could do it in an Instant Pot,
Yeah.
but you can easily get one of those things that you just put in a pot and you boil.
Like a
Boil the water and
colander.
the steam. Yeah, and then the steam rises and then it steams your vegetables, which is really delicious.
Okay.
And then the
Um,
other one is mental
yeah.
health,
What?
super
Yeah.
important. So I always check on the mental health, and I think being positive minded and being mindful about how you feel is super important, and not discounting it. Have someone you can talk to if you're feeling anxious, because this is not a time to keep things inside. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I think that's what's making people anxious. A lot of people are out of jobs, but they don't know what's going to happen. So have someone you can talk to, and your mental health, super important. If you're eating and sleeping well, your mental health is also going to be better.
But those
So
three things are all like linked together because if I'm feeling anxious, then it impacts the way I eat and it
true.
also impacts the way I sleep. So like it's kind of circular, right? So like the mental health thing for me, it's like that's where it starts because if I'm not feeling good in my head, then it impacts my other routines and my behavior.
100%. And that's why it's super important to have the mindset as optimal. Try to be as positive as you can. Always take a silver lining in something. There always is a silver lining. It's hard to see it right now, but everything in time heals. Our earth is healing right now. Mother Nature's healing. And when we get more connected to nature, I think that's when we are more connected with ourselves. So whatever it's going to take for you to be positive, have a positive attitude, just always be optimist, the ultimate optimist. Always try to look at the silver lining in the situation. It's hard to do it. It really is. But I think it's, again, then I add community to this. Having a community, a group of people that you talk to, friends that keep in touch. And, I know we're going to be getting on a little birthday Zoom for your birthday, Imran, that's coming up. Your birthday's on Monday, but we're celebrating it on Saturday or Sunday. Sorry,
Sunday, I
Sunday.
think. Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. So, that's super important. It's like, celebrating people's birthdays, getting in touch with your friends, having, I know people are like doing happy hours or, just getting together with their friends for, my friends had a talent show for their children, I mean, there's just so many things you can do to stay connected to community because united we stand, divided we fall, right?
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, so that's 5 things. I think you have more tips, right?
So exercise,
Oh
exercise.
yeah. So how do you do that when you're like in your house all the time?
It's, it's a good question. There's a lot of things that you can do. If there's a lot of Lululemon's doing like a ton of Instagram lives and also podcasts and like Zooms on how to exercise at home. If you have like the bands and things like that, you can use those at home. It is tough to do it at home, but people are becoming super resourceful and like lifting cans and stuff like that, because even getting dumbbells right now on Amazon is tough. So, there are different kind of resistance exercises you can do, but we know that exercises increases mental clarity and reduces anxiety. It also balances cortisol. Now, the best time to exercise would be the morning, Imran, because that's when your cortisol levels, your stress, that's the stress hormone that goes up, is highest in the morning. So I recommend exercising in the morning versus the evening, because
Okay.
the evening is when your cortisol levels should plateau. So evening is more like meditative, relaxation. And in the exercise section, I would include meditation. And that would actually be another point. By the way, Imran, exercise, you know what got me to exercise a bit more was a study I read that the people that exercise more actually had thicker skin, and they had less aging of the skin, less as elasticity breakdown and collagen breakdown. So for those out there that are really lazy like me when it comes to exercise, just think of it this way. It's anti-aging. It increases growth hormone in the body, which is so good for muscle repair, for increasing muscle and bone density. So just remember, exercise is going to be good for so many different things. And even if it's just 15 to 20 minutes a day, like do something, move. Because when you're not moving, you're stagnating. You're stagnating and blocking sections in your body.
Okay. What's next?
So the next would be the meditation. So meditation is super, super important, especially for helping that mindset that we were talking about. Meditation has been shown to increase natural serotonin levels, calm down cortisol, which is that stress hormone. And you only need to do like 12 minutes a day, Imran. There's a meditation mantra in my book that is called the Kirtan Kriya, and it's 10 minutes, sorry, 10 to 12 minutes. And you use your fingers, and it's sa ta na ma, and you can even get the song on Spotify and download it and listen to it and follow along. And it's just sa ta na ma, and it's 12 minutes a day. I do it before I go to bed every night, and I swear it helps me sleep. The nights I forget to do it are the nights that I've just passed out and forgotten. But I feel completely well rested, and my brain feels more focused the next morning. And it's just literally something you can add every day. And I find this to be one of the most important and critical things that you should include in your daily exercise habits every day, in your routine.
Okay. Any final words of wisdom?
Well, enjoy this time as much as you can, in the sense of, I know it's easier said than done, because this is a time where you can start to reset the things that you used to not do and that you didn't have time to do. I know everybody's still working from home. A lot of people are still working from home, but you still have more time to do some self-care. So just be more mindful and take care of your body, because I think this is a wake-up call for all of us to know that, listen, our bodies can give up on us if we don't give it the right nutrients. So I think this is a really good time to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
so
no, I think
everybody's doing that.
it's so important, because it's, in a way, I mean, everything you've said is linked to everything else, right? The way you eat impacts your digestion. Your digestion's impacted by the way you're feeling often. The way you feel is impacted by whether you're exercising enough, or whether you're, being mindful, or you're spending your time on your meditation. Like, everything's connected. And like, when one piece of it breaks, everything else breaks. So like, it's important to keep it all kind of linked together. But it's hard right now, right? So like, I guess my last question for you is like, what if you lose track? Like, what if you fall back into bad habits? How do you find the wherewithal to get back up on that horse again and try to like stay on track?
I think people are, once you start a routine and you start to feel really good about it, people will, you have to remind yourself how you felt when you were doing the things that were right for you. And I think that's a way, and not worrying about if you're going to fall off. You can fall back on again. I think people think that, oh, I've already fallen off, I'm just going to do everything bad now. And that's not actually true. You can just start incorporating 1 or 2 things at a time, and then gradually start incorporating everything. I mean, we're all not going to be perfect. So I like to use the 80-20 rule, Imran. So 80% of the time, do all the good things that we just talked about, and 20% of the time, allow yourself to eat, the foods that.
So I can eat Sour Patch Kids one day a week?
Oh gosh. We'll have a chat about that. I know those Sour Patch Kids.
I love my Sour Patch Kids. I really do. It's so
bad. The sugar is aging. It actually causes your skin to sag. It also depletes your immune function. So,
and it's bad for my gut, right? Because all the stuff.
So bad.
Yeah.
It's feeding the bad bacteria. They're like, when gremlins, after you feed them after midnight, they all go all crazy and mess up the house. That's what's happening in your gut when you feed it sugar. So, just be careful of that, and just be mindful, that, have it every now and then, but don't make it an everyday routine.
Okay.
And when you feed yourself more protein, you'll have less cravings. I also have the time facial I wanted to show you.
Oh, yes. Please show me that. Because,
so
I don't have the time because I have time, but I don't have time. I didn't manage, but so let's just do it on your side because I don't have the herb. But like, what does this do? This time facial?
So this is really good for congestion, and I've got my pot right here, and I have put. Let's see here. I'm just going to move it so you can see. I have put 2 cups of water that I've already boiled. And, I'm going to pour that in here. So this is hot water.
Yeah.
And I have some ground thyme that I put in my, this is thyme. I got ground, but you can get fresh thyme.
Yeah.
Thyme
why
is an herb.
thyme? Like, why thyme?
Thyme is, oh my gosh, it's antibacterial, antiviral, and it is so good at sort of clearing congestion. So people who even have allergies right now or congestion, it is super amazing. And you can drink this after. Like you can actually drink.
Okay.
Well, you can drink this because you don't want to throw it away, right?
Right.
And you can.
That's
what
a
I
lot
do
of
is
time.
I strain it in here.
Okay.
So that I can drink it as a tea because it's also very good for the digestion. So then what I do is I have this and I put this in there and I just get like a little towel thing and I go like this.
Wow. Okay.
And I just breathe.
So how long do you keep the towel on for?
You can do it, I would try to do it for, 5 to 10 minutes. And it also gives you a really nice facial.
Okay.
You have all these like nutrients, opening up your pores, and it's a really good way of like, you'll feel really good after, and your breathing actually will be much better. And it's something you can just use to drink after as a tea. Very good antiviral.
So first it's like a steaming for my chest, then it's a facial, then it's a tea. It's like an all-in-one.
Right. And just inhale it through your nose and your mouth. So it gets all the way deep, like really inhale and hold it for a good 10 seconds and then exhale. You also want to do some breathing exercises while you do it. It's totally relaxing. It's my favorite thing to do. I've been doing it for years. Okay.
I'm going to try that this weekend when I go to my one grocery store visit per week or whatever.
Okay, good.
Right.
Maybe we can do a FaceTime and do it together.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nigma. There are a couple of questions. People have asked whether, one, you could put that Spotify, if you could share the Spotify. Can you see that question?
Okay. I can't actually see
hi,
any questions.
Thank you for these helpful tips. Could you please share the Spotify link, Satanama, to get it right?
Yeah,
and that came from Zoyad.
Okay. So it's called the Kirtan Kriya
Yeah.
Kirtan and then Krya. If you type that into the Spotify search, you can find it there. I'm going to post it on my stories. I'll take a screenshot and post it on my stories, Dr. Nigma Talib. And so if people want to look there, just in case they didn't catch that. But yeah, you can just get that on Spotify. I listen to it every night. And
Okay, and then someone is
thinking,
saying, someone is asking about Ayurvedic herbs and if it's okay to use L-glutamine.
L-glutamine is awesome. It helps repair the gut lining. So cabbage is rich in L-glutamine. But yes, absolutely, L-glutamine is awesome for the gut.
Okay, so L-glutamine is good. Anything on Ayurveda? Do you believe in that?
I think Ayurvedic medicine is incredible. And there's a lot of, traditional Chinese medicine came from Ayurvedic medicine. So the whole Ayurvedic medicine principle is having the warming foods and having things like khichdi and warming foods and vegetables to support the gut system, which is the root of all disease, starts there in the gut.
Okay. And then there's so many questions here. Someone's asking if it's okay to eat raw tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean, raw tomatoes are more easily digestible than raw carrots or celery. So absolutely, you can have some raw tomatoes. And if, always use yourself as the litmus test. How do you feel after you eat that? Are you feeling queasy? Are you feeling plugged up? So yeah, and I actually cooking raw tomatoes, cooking tomatoes is really amazing because it brings out the lycopene content, which is a really strong antioxidant. So you can cook them too.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nigma.
Thank you for having me, Imran.
All right. Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that is the last episode of BOF Live for this week. If you're interested in following along for more conversations we're going to have with our favorite people from all around the world, have a look at businessofashion.com/events. I'm Imran Amed, founder and CEO of the Business of Fashion. That's all for today. Hope some of those help tips will help you. Nigma's always been an amazing advisor to me on staying healthy. And if you follow some of those tips, I'm sure you'll feel really good. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.